What is up, everybody? Welcome to the podcast. I am JamesAutumn. This is Nemesis Insider. My host is FloppyLongboard. Do you want to say hello, Floppy?
What's up, everybody? I am FloppyLongboard, and God, is it good to see everybody tonight, man?
Yeah, real great. And we have a special guest of honor. He has taken time off from his hunts that are just brutally long and tough and keeping us all safe. Like, you don't know how safe this man is keeping us. Let's give it up for ItzHobbes. Hobbs, welcome.
Hello. Welcome, everybody.
Yeah, I'm glad you could join us.
Thank you for having me.
Most definitely. So, Monster Hunter aside, let's just start with the origin of ItzHobbes. Take us through this journey. Come on, it's all you.
Well, where to begin? I am just a kid from New Jersey who eventually made it out to Illinois. I started off streaming as kind of a charity thing, stopped, and then thanks to a now community member, Hooded Jester VR, here I am back to streaming again. And yes, the name of the game is Monster Hunter for me.
Was Monster Hunter the start of it, or like what were some of your earliest games?
Oh God, the start of it was actually Five Nights at Freddy's.
Really?
Believe it or
Okay.
not, yes. As actually, and on my channel, like because I used to just take my VODs and put them on YouTube for all of my friends back when I started. And there's still like this one part of Five Nights at Freddy's where I get jump scared by Freddy, and I legit scream.
I think you've actually shown me that
clip.
clip. It was beautiful. Like,
yeah, it's a great clip. It's really good clip. Kind of sort of why that's like a rivaled game that I have. Although I did do a cosplay from that, and the pictures that I can show you from the convention from this one convention where I ended up running the photo shoot for Five Nights at Freddy's. It was crazy. So many animatronics. But no, they were great. The cosplays were great. Like the way that people do these things, it's amazing. But
so with COVID happening and everything, do you have any plans to like start doing some more conventions now that things are opening up a little bit?
I missed one local one. That was out of my own choice, but I am going to another one that's in the city, C2E2. I'm actually going to be going to that. I think that's next weekend. Yes, actually, that is next weekend. On the 5th. So I will be at C2E2 as I'm not really going to cosplay per se, as as I'm gonna be rocking the family shirt and being what I like to call streamer kale. Or
yeah.
Hobbs. Oh, and yes, I will. I'm even gonna walk around with my shaker. I might just bring Advance with me and pose with everything. It's gonna be awesome. It's gonna be really fun.
You're gonna start throwing out cards that say code Nemesis at checkout can save you on your purchase of Advanced.
Do you know I still need to work on that? I've had this idea for business cards, and I just never pulled the trigger on it. I need to do that though, especially if I'm going to start going back to conventions again.
Yeah.
Like I definitely was thinking about trying to make TwitchCon at one point. It's going to happen one year. It'll happen one year.
I'm a believer, and dude, I have to ask because it's always fun learning about this. What was your first cosplay outfit, and how well does it stand up to what you got going on today?
My very first cosplay was Ness from Earthbound / Super Smash Brothers. A lot of people know him from Smash Brothers, but I know there's a bunch of people out there that know him from Earthbound, which is where I know him from. But that was my first. I actually did a revival of him one year, where like I had like a much better shirt, a better backpack, the better hat, like I had a Mr. Saturn plushie that was literally able to sit on my head. And compared to the Destiny cosplay though, like the Destiny cosplay is out there.
Yeah,
And
that's
I'm
one of the first
planning.
ones I saw you rocking was the Destiny. I was like, holy crap, this guy takes it serious.
Yeah, that's one of my favorites. It's actually that and Hobbs are probably one of my more comfortable cosplays, believe it or not. And yeah, the Destiny one is comfortable when I don't have the helmet on. Although we did a friend of mine actually redid the inside of my helmet, and I can wear it for much longer periods of time now. Plus, I can see. That was the biggest thing. I couldn't see out of the visor that I had on there the first time, and one of the last times I had it, I had the new visor on. I was like, oh my god, I can see everything. But of course, when you're wearing a helmet like that, the warlock helmets can be very very obscure sometimes, and like mine just has two giant V's just sitting right in the middle of it. So it's just like I feel like I'm inside a ship sometimes with a heads up display, and my depth perception is gone. Like 100% gone.
I believe that.
And like I'm trying to figure out a way to like either have my Bluetooth or something like that so I can hear better, and or have like a microphone system, kind of sort of like how the stormtroopers do it. But until then, I usually just either sign language. I either just like do like like signs like stuff like that. I actually wanted to make little signs that I would have in my pouch that would just be emotes.
Oh, that would be
Like
awesome.
just pictures of emotes. Since my helmet doesn't have any like definitive eyes either, it doesn't have eye slots, so I can't really like a friend of mine actually used to make comics that would involve myself and like our fire team, and our two other fire team members. Their helmets literally have like eye holes and eye slits, and for me, she had to basically just like put emote like signs by my helmet. Or like if I was nervous, there would just be a sweat, like a sweat drop or something, while I'm just while it's kind of just looks like I'm staring blankly. And then and at first I would never take my helmet off, and then when she finally did like the reveal, she made it to where like I looked so like sparkly and gorgeous, and like it was great. It was the funniest thing ever. I was like, this is something out of an anime. When they like when they were trying to, like, if you've ever seen Naruto, when they were trying to unmask Kakashi, like it was something like that.
So, let's say you are giving someone advice on a cosplay, right? Okay. Let's put Floppy in the hot seat here. Have this discussion with Floppy. What kind of cosplay could you see Floppy as just looking at him? Like, what character could he be in the video game or just media world in general? Let's play this game.
Well, there's a few that he could do. Now, the greatest thing about like a Monster Hunter cosplay is that you could literally just be anybody and do that. But if I want to give you a definitive character, Floppy, have you seen The Boys?
Not yet.
Oh.
I have not gotten a chance to watch it yet. I'm so sorry.
Oh god. Oh god. I mean, like I could probably see you doing maybe a Billy Butcher. Or God, there's a whole bunch of oh god, you could be Soldier Boy. Actually. You could be Soldier. When you watch it, you'll understand. You'll get it. You'll get it. You'll get it. You'll get it, and you'll be like, "Oh my god, I could probably pull that off."
Like, I need to go online myself. It seems.
Not promoting it, but if you go to Amazon Prime, you can watch all episodes of The Boys there, and it's well worth it. It's a crazy, crazy ride.
Show.
Yeah,
I've heard it's a pretty fun riot.
The comic that it's based off of is wild.
Yeah.
Is it a comic or is it based off a graphic novel? Just out of
It's
curiosity.
based off a graphic novel.
See, you better
But
watch your
like,
vocabulary.
still, it's wild. And I've
Yeah.
seen comics get adapted into graphic novels. It's actually really nice.
I heard that like I Am Legend is actually a graphic novel, so it's cool to
Yeah.
see what people can take from stories and amazing works of art and pictures and bring to life. So
Look at what they've done with the MCU and DC. Well, okay, let's just say let's look at what they've done with the MCU and Batman. In that case, like it's and like there's even more things that are coming out that's obscure. Like there was what was this show called? It was on Netflix and it was Jupiter Rising. That was a graphic novel.
That was pretty cool. That was pretty cool.
Yeah, that was an interesting one. 300.
mm-hmm.
A lot of people, everybody knows 300 in Sin City.
I think
actually
one of the
recently,
big ones of the decade is probably The Watchmen.
The Watchmen. Yeah, Watchmen was really really good. Anything Frank Miller touches is amazing. Let's just put it that way. Like I loved his rendition of Batman with Dark Knight Returns. I was like, if they actually did that in live action, I would 100% be there for that. Like that's the Ben Affleck movie they should have done, in my opinion.
Honestly, yes. I'm in full agreement with that.
I still think it'd be really cool if they made a Batman Beyond with Michael Keaton as an old Bruce Wayne. I'm just gonna put that out there.
No, I'm there with you. I am 100% there with you. Please, that would be 100%. That would be awesome. That would be so good. Like but like they gotta pick a good person for Terry McGinnis.
Mhm.
Like honestly,
Who would you see as Terry McGinnis?
that's where you gotta sell it. That's the hard part. Like that's the hard part because like I've watched the cartoon and read the comics. There's a lot of people who could be him. I can't really. I can't
whoever's
really
gonna play Terry McGinnis is also gonna play Danny Phantom, probably.
Probably, yes.
Ooh.
Yeah, yeah. I could see that too. Like, and he's gonna be grizzled for Terry, but then he's gonna be a pretty boy for for Danny
You're
Phantom.
like, the same actor? How did they do that?
I love when actors do that, man. I love it when actors do that. It's just whoa, you were just like this, and now you're like this.
Well, we went and saw the new Thor, right? And it was funny because me and my buddy are all telling our girlfriends, that's Batman right there. What? Christian Bale's like the master of transformation. It's insane.
Yeah, he's good. Who else was good? I had Robert De Niro is another good one. Robert De Niro, Carl Urban. Carl Urban is like. Do you know how long it took? It was years before I realized that Carl Urban was in both Chronicles of Riddick and Lord of the Rings.
Wait, Lord of the Rings?
Yeah, he was in Lord of the Rings.
Who did he play?
And Doom. Oh
my
awesome.
God. Are you serious?
Oh, did I? Wait, hold on. Did you just learn something new today, James? Were you today years old when you found out that Carl Urban was in Lord of the Rings?
Just keep talking. I'm not IMDb fact checking.
IMDbing
words.
He's so freaked out. He's like, no.
The pop culture. I'm just full of it. I'm so full of pop culture references. Like super full of them. I often use them in my stream.
quick question. You mentioned stormtroopers earlier when you were talking about your cosplay helmet and things like that. Would you say that with that helmet on, your aim would be better, worse, or about the same as a stormtroopers?
I'm a guardian, so better.
Better. Fair enough.
I mean I can still see what's in front of me. It's when you get over here and over here when it gets to be a problem.
You got those horse blinders on. I see.
Yeah. No,
it confirmed it. It confirmed it. We got it. Okay.
Yeah, there it is.
Blew my mind. Wow. Great.
There it is.
I'm sorry to interrupt the flow of that. Keep going. Keep going.
Oh no, that was fine. That was perfectly fine.
We just enlightened you today.
Yeah, that's all it was. Enlightenment is fun.
All right. So
Enlightenment is very fun.
you need to enlighten us on what Monster Hunter is. For those who don't know in the audience, like, what is Monster Hunter? Why is it so special? And yeah, what's your favorite enemy from it?
And weapon.
Weapon, yeah. Let's get a weapon in there.
Okay, so Monster Hunter, what is it? It is exactly what it entails: monster hunting. There is a little bit of a storyline to it, believe it or not. A lot of the hunting that you're doing is for either the ecosystem or because it's a threat to the village that you are the hunter for. And there are many different creatures that you will see and face throughout the many different games that are out there, starting from the first game called Monster Hunter that started off on PS2, to what I've been playing every stream, Monster Hunter Rise, which is the latest. And Sunbreak, being the new DLC, gives us some new monsters and some returning monsters from the classic days. Now, as for my favorite weapon, that would be the Switch Axe, or as most hunters call it, the Swag Axe.
Now, why do they call it that?
Because it's swaggy. It's a swag axe. The swag that plug. Like, you've seen me with my swag when I'm using it.
I have.
No, it's a switch. It's a weapon. It's a weapon that literally just switches from an axe to a sword. And there's explosions. And actually, the reason why I actually used the Switch Axe is because of a mechanic that I disliked in 3, which was underwater hunting. Underwater hunting was a nightmare. Now, granted, one of my favorite monsters from that game was one of those hunts. It was an underwater hunt, and that monster was Lagiacrus. It's a very, very big, giant blue Leviathan-like creature. Really cool armor, really cool weapons. And that's one that I've been waiting for them to bring back. They brought him back in Generations, but and in the E3 trailer for Monster Hunter World they did, and then he never came back, and he hasn't been back since. And it's kind of sad, but I did find a new favorite when I played Monster Hunter World, and most of us know who that is. It's Nergigante.
I've heard you talk about him.
We call him my child, and I abuse him every chance that I get because he tries to abuse me every chance that he gets. And oh man, and let somebody tell me that they need help, and the target monster is Nergigante. The grin that I have on my face every single time is just like, oh, he is ready to beat up something. He is definitely ready to beat up something, and we chose the right person to hunt this thing. And the stories of Nergigante before I actually got up to him, hearing that he's been a wall for most newcomers. The 3 walls from World was actually the T-Rex monster called Anjanath.
I fought him. I did not have fun.
Oh, he's a fun one to fight. What?
Well, that was before you. That was before I started hunting with you.
Diablos was actually a returning monster. I fought Diablos in Monster Hunter 3, and he was just as tough. He gave me trouble as a starting hunter, and every time I fight him, it's just like, you're just a pain. And once I kill you, it's going to be bliss for me. And of course, if you happen to get to him, I've heard so many people tell me that they quit because of Nergigante, and I'm just like, hey, listen, if you ever want to try again, but you want help, let me know. Let me know.
You're saying you're open for monster guides, right?
I will gladly punch Nergigante in the face for somebody, but no, I do offer teachings. I've taught quite a few people. I've taught you, James.
Yeah, yeah.
I taught and I have one person who actually took up the switch axe, and it made me so happy. And then when our friend Chrissy wanted to try Monster Hunter, and she what amazed me was that she didn't go for one of the newer ones. She went for Generations, which used a much older system and older quality of life that there was to Monster Hunter. See, back in the day, when you would drink your potion, you would have to you weren't able to run at the same time. No, you would chug and then you would stop and flex every single time, and that's when you consumed anything, antidote, potion, anything for giving you damage buffs, defense buffs, anything. Also, the maps weren't seamless. When you went to a different area, there was a loading screen. So if you were fighting something and it happened to be on like the border and it hit you, you would go back into you would hit a loading screen. Or if you happen to turn around to try and to like reposition and you go too far, you go into a loading screen. The biggest pain was in order to track monsters. Okay, you didn't have tracks and things that you could that they brought into Monster Hunter World, where it was like actual tracking.
Oh, it's beautiful in the world.
It's great in World. Once you found the monster, like usually the monster started in a certain area, and it was just it was like pre-generated to do that. And what you would have to do is you would have to throw a paintball at it, so that if it moved from that area, you can see where it is on the map. And the worst part about that is that paintball paint can wear off, and it's terrible. It's absolutely terrible. And another thing that's very very nightmarish is that like some of the monsters that they have are just hell to deal with. Some of the earlier monsters are hell to deal with. There was this one monster in Monster Hunter 3 that I was hunting. It was one of my first hunts going in. It was called Queripeku. Okay, it's this big bird. This big bird monster. It looks a little bit like a pelican. And it would have like this. It was green. It would have this big red breast like a robin. And the special ability of this monster was that it was able to do what was called a mocking call. And I was fighting this thing. It happened to do this, and then all of a sudden, a Rathalos appeared. And I hadn't fought a Rathalos before. And this thing was like, "Oh, hello. I see you're new here. I just want you to know that there is a reason why I'm on all the art for Monster Hunter. I just want you to know I run this bitch. Not you." And it was terrible until I came back and said, "Hey, you think you run this? No. I want you to. I need you to realize that the name of the game is Monster Hunter, not Monster. Monster Hunter." It was kind of sort of like if anybody's ever seen Baki.
Oh God, Baki, that's crazy
how
anime.
Baki had to remind Muhammad Ali Jr. what the name of the show was after that entire arc. That's basically what happened.
Love it. Such a good show.
That is basically what happened, and from there the journey just expanded. I finally was able to find some friends that taught me how to play properly. I learned new weapons. I really became a jack of all trades because of my chat in Monster Hunter World for the channel with the channel point redemption. Choose my weapon, and I had people choose some things that I've never used before.
Ooh.
And I've stepped out of my comfort zone for a few of them, and for some are fun. There are some that are fun. There are some that, okay, others might like it. not so much for me. But it's still really, really interesting to try a different weapon after you've mastered one. One of my favorite other weapons to use is the charge blade, which I don't know why I like transforming weapons, but I do.
I was about to say, it seems to be the motif. You like the changing
I do.
weapons.
I do. And the charge blade is awesome. It's a sword and shield that turns into a giant axe.
There you go.
That
Wait, isn't that the
when
reverse of the switch axe?
well, the switch axe turns into a great sword, as
Similar.
opposed to having a sword and shield that like clicks together and like turns into this big old axe that can sometimes also have the blade of the axe spin kind of sort of like a chainsaw.
Oh, that's
There you go.
crazy.
It's so good. It's so good. They call it the Savage Axe, and whew, one of my favorite things about Charge Blade.
Speaking on your journey here, I've got a little bit of a two-part question for you. So one, I was gonna say, like, in your experience, or depending on all the research that you've done, how has Monster Hunter changed from the very first game to now, and how has it stayed the same? And the other thing I kind of want to ask too is, have you ever played Dauntless? And how do you feel about people trying to bring in free-to-play games in AAA genres?
Well, let's start with the first one. Monster Hunter has changed drastically throughout the generations from first gen to fifth gen. There have been many changes to the quality of life, to the gameplay. In fact, in the first Monster Hunter, not every weapon that you see today was in the game. It was very basic weapons. You had the lance, the sword and shield, the great sword, I think the bow, and I think dual blades. It was either dual blades or dual blades was a variant of the sword and shield. So there weren't really, and I think the light bow gun was another weapon that you could use. I'm not like again I didn't get a chance to play the first Monster Hunter. This is just things that I've heard. And also attacking. Apparently, instead of just using like regular buttons, you attacked with the right stick. That was how you would fight, and which I found to be quite interesting. Um, according to Jester, who got to play actual Monster Hunter 2, which they called Monster Hunter DOS, was when they started letting you use the buttons to do your hunting. Now, and of course, the now not just move sets. Of course, there's new move sets for every weapon in each game, and the move sets for even monsters change. And I don't. And man, you get new monsters every game. You get returning monsters every game. You get new variants of returning monsters and whatnot. You always have a big monster that you have to fight, or some monster that's supposedly the protagonist or the big bad. There's I think World was the first to actually introduce a type of like raid monster.
Oh, okay.
Where like which I think that was Kulve Teroth and Safi Jiva once Iceborne came out, which were very, very fun. And it was just like you would fight it and do as much as you can, and then you would get your group, come back in, and do even more until you got to the next phase. And it was it would be long and tedious, but I don't know, it was just something that was fun about fighting a giant. Well, Kolve Teroth was a giant gold dragon that would travel through different parts of this underground. And Safi Jiva is the adult version of the final monster that you fight in Monster Hunter World, the base game. And Safi Jiva just looks like a giant version of Smaug, and I was here for that.
That's awesome.
And of course, with all of these monsters, you use their after you're done hunting, you carve parts from them and you use it to make weapons and gear out of it. And of course, that is where the drip for Monster Hunter comes in, as we like to say. It's fashion hunter, really.
Okay.
Just like Dark Souls is fashion Souls. Like, you got to look good. You gotta look good when you're hunting, which is why I like layered armor, because you can basically make yourself look like you're in whatever you're wearing while still having your set on, so that you can
Perfect.
do whatever you need to do. Now have I played Monster Hunter Dauntless? Yes, I've tried it. And am coming from Monster Hunter and going to that, it's 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 okay. Like if it's for a free to play game, it's okay. I will say that. I do prefer Monster Hunter.
Oh, of course, of course.
Like I definitely prefer Monster Hunter 100% over to Dauntless. And it's mostly because of like how the monster behaves.
Perfect. Okay.
Um, and one of the things that I love about Monster Hunter is that like you could say that somebody's hunting the same monster over and over again, but it's not really the same monster over and over again. Every
Mhm.
time you go back in, the monster will behave differently. Sometimes it'll be like there'll be days where I'll go to fight Nergigante and he'll just be more aggressive for no reason. And I'm just like, okay, you're giving it to me a little bit. I don't know what's going on, but you're giving it to me a little bit, and I have to lay the smack down, you know.
How do you feel
And
though about them bringing about these companies starting to bring in these sort of like free to play games that are similar to these AAA titles, so people don't miss. I mean, you think it's still kind of good, or do you think it pulls away from the community that could be playing what you think the better game is? You know what I mean?
I mean, when it comes to this, there's always there's a flip side to the coin. One could say that like they don't like it because it is taking away from that community. But at the
Yep.
same time, the way I view it is like let people. I tell people like when people ask me that I'm like I tried it. It's not for me. If you like it, cool. And people will tell me about it, and then I'll say, "Have you tried Monster Hunter?" And some people will be like, no, I haven't tried Monster Hunter. And I'm like, Dauntless is kind of like Dauntless is basically based off of that. If you like Dauntless, you're probably going to enjoy Monster Hunter.
Monster Hunter Light.
Right. I mean, honestly, like uh and I've done a few streams of Dauntless, and the weapons that they have in there are very very unique. I will give them that, but it's just like it's nothing like the girth of swinging a great sword into
Well, it
something.
seems like there's so much more just in general. You've got the design of the game, the lineage, the fact that you can do the cooking and everything, and just
Right.
just like everything that encompasses Monster Hunter. So
Yeah.
it definitely is more of a package, that's for sure.
The
uh
negative side of that coin, though, when you mention free to play versus the counterpart AAA,
mhm.
is the whole thing of like people experience the free to play, they don't like it. It can often turn them off from actually trying the real genuine artifact, if you will, because
True. True.
there have been a lot of great shooter games and stuff that I've enjoyed. And like when Call of Duty was a big thing, they had so many rip-offs based off the
Oh
source
my
engine,
god, yeah, they
and it
did.
was so
Yeah, they really
painful.
did.
And then when I was like trying to get friends into playing Call of Duty with me, they'd be like, "Well,
Right.
I played this free to play. It's pretty much the same thing, and I'm just
Same
not into
thing.
it." So
Yeah.
that's like the negative for me is like, dang, I love that they're trying to show people a new genre or a new style to a shooter or any game in general, but then like
Mhm.
that person's gonna play that, hate it, and then associate that with the real deal.
Mhm.
Well, actually varies from person to person too.
Most definitely.
Like I'm a person that likes to try things before I'm like I ultimately don't like. Like
Right.
everybody has heard me say that I don't has heard my opinion on Fortnite, but I've actually played Fortnite.
Hmm.
And it was just like I've tried it. I've given it a shot. And I was like, not for me. Now, there are some things that somebody showed me that may cause me to give it a second chance. Something involving Magic the Gathering. If they ever put anything that's not as if to say if they did put something Monster Hunter in it that I would play it. Absolutely not.
So,
But
to interrupt you, there is actually some crowd participation we need to do, Hobbs. That's going to be really fun for you.
Sure.
So one thing is we have a question from our very own Instill. We love him, by the way. Hi, Instill. Hope you're doing well.
Hi, Instill.
The question is: are there any upcoming games that you are looking forward to, possibly similar to Monster Hunter?
Okay. There is this Wukong game that is coming out.
I've seen previews of that Summer Games Fest.
And I forget what it's called, but I'm a huge fan of Wukong. Back when I played Smite, that was my main. Wukong was my guy. And I've seen the gameplay of it, and it's very again, I forget what it's called, but it's very Dark Soulsy Monster Hunter-y, and I'm like, yeah, this is my kind of game. And definitely and I was like, and there aren't enough Wukong games. Like I was just like, a Wukong game would be so fantastic. This is gonna be great. And yeah, I'm that's definitely one of the ones that I am looking forward to. The other game that I was looking forward to got I'm very, very sad about because they indefinitely delayed it. And with those words, I think you guys might know what I'm talking about. Knights of the Old Republic remake.
Oh, no.
I've heard about that, and I was just like, oh, and now I'm sad. Now I'm so sad. I was like, I'm so sad.
You don't know how many conversations I've had with Maz and many other people about our excitement for this. This was going to be it, man. This was going to be the RPG nostalgia of the century.
Right in the chest.
And of course, you guys know that. Of course, everybody here knows that we do that Jester's Court where we're doing Star Wars, which has been fun. But like I actually have KOTOR on my Xbox, so I've been playing that. My little brother Ronan has both of them on his cell phone, and he and I have actually been going through it together. He helps me with some of the choices that I've been making and everything like that. It's really it's fun. I enjoy. I will say that it's been a blessing having him around. He's kind of sort of been my rock through the situation that I don't want to get too much into. But he's the best. Absolutely been the best. He's why I've gotten my energy back. I haven't been eating out as much because he cooks, and I tell you, this boy can cook his ass off. Yeah. Oh man, like he can cook so good. Like he made just last night we went shopping, and we just took some ready-made tortellini, and he made his own tomato sauce, and I love my little brother so much.
That's amazing.
So Hobbs,
he's so supportive.
We also have another question on from Bye Bye Butt, who says, I am looking forward to Nightingale. What are your thoughts on it?
Nightingale?
Are you familiar with that? At the Summer's Game Fest, they announced it, and it's like this third-person open world game where this girl has superpowers. She, I don't know, there's like a lot of RGB effects under her feet and everything when she moves and flies. It's a pretty crazy-looking game.
I will have to take a look at that. That sounds kind of fast-paced. At least like it's going to be fast-paced at some point.
Well, there are obviously big monsters to fight. There are different ways to approach the monsters. So it could go right up your alley in that kind of interest of gameplay, too.
See, I always a different Nightingale. I didn't even know about that one.
Did I get the name wrong? I probably got the name wrong.
If my target is the thing that I'm fighting is bigger than a house, I want it. If I'm hunting something and it's not bigger than a damn house, I don't want it. I absolutely do not want it. And what I tell people about one of the other things that I tell people about Monster, and especially there was one friend that I had. He was all into shooters. This is how I got him into Monster Hunter. I was like, hey, if you use the heavy bowgun, it basically turns Monster Hunter into a third-person shooter. And I'm not lying, it does. Because there are two different types of heavy bow guns. One of them is a sniper rifle. The other one is an LMG. I prefer the LMG, of course.
Now, when I first
And
started playing Monster Hunter, I thought that was really cool, and I tried out
yeah,
the sniper, and the sniper just killed my momentum altogether. But
Mhm.
thankfully, you've shown me the bow, and I've had fun with the bow ever since. So thank you for that. But
The bow is so fun to use, and a lot of people knock it, but it's just like it's such a stylish weapon
oh
to
yeah,
use.
and you know me, I love
Between
style
that,
in video games just as much as you do.
yeah, and between that and the insect glaive, the insect glaive is a very very fun weapon. I remember when I finally learned that, I just started going. That became my third preferred weapon. I remember when my first channel trailer that I had didn't have it wasn't me talking or anything. It was literally just a trailer of me using the insect glaive fighting a Nergigante and just royally destroying it. And it was to some synthwave music, which was awesome.
Fantastic.
It was great. Okay, so I see it here. I will definitely
Yeah.
have to take a look at that.
So I had to back up and
And
send that to you because I got the game wrong. That's
I
another
was
game I
gonna
was totally
say, I was
thinking
like,
about.
hold
Yeah.
on.
Yeah. So this one's actually really cool too. I saw lots of previews for it, but that's Nightingale's going to be a really fun one to group up on.
I really
Now,
think
yeah, that
so.
looks. Oh, it's co-op. Okay, yeah, no, that's
yeah.
gonna be awesome.
It's a
That's gonna be cool.
first-person PvE co-op survival game set in a fantasy world where you kind of get to go through different realms.
Okay, that reminds me of Vermintide.
It
A little
kind of
bit.
it actually it does give me that those kind of vibes also. Yeah,
Except
definitely.
Yeah,
the base
yeah.
building and crafting is pretty crazy because you have one
Yeah.
central world, you craft and build up that base, you go to these different worlds and you pick up materials, bring them back to the central base. So it's still going to be pretty darn cool.
Okay, so
There
Survival.
was
it's
another thing I
survival. Got
wanted
it.
to get with you on, Hobbs, about you've taken on students. I think that's fair to say, right?
I have many
So
apprentices.
you do have an apprentice in chat of Sensei Solo. Would you like to give him an assessment live on stream and tell us his progress and encourage him and give him some extra
Oh,
tips?
I actually got the chance to hunt with him do a few hunts with him on Monster Hunter World on the
Ooh.
PC. That was the game of choice that he chose. He is a longsword user, which longsword is definitely a good starter weapon. I started off with longsword, and I showed him a few advanced techniques and whatnot, and he has he has a lot of potential. He has a lot of room for growth. Being that he's still at the beginning of the game.
Now, how
So
far
I'm very
into the game are we talking here?
the last time I hunted with him, I think it was like one of the first two hunts that were the first two hunts where it was like a jag or something like that. I know there was one where it was he had to hunt one of the roaming mammals, and I just came in and he just watched me destroy a great jaguars just to kind of sort of demonstrate.
Destroyed.
Yes, but no, he has he. There's a lot of room for growth. I think he's gonna do great. If I know him, because he's a speed runner, I can see him being a speed hunter. Where it's just like I'm gonna try and beat this monster within a certain amount of time. If that's the route he wants to go, I heavily encourage that for him because I
Now,
feel like that would
that's
be
a
up his alley.
category. Is that actually like a category where people time these fights or?
Yes, yes.
Oh, that's awesome.
Speed hunting is a thing. You can go on YouTube and find people that will post like 2 minute Nergigante hunts or something like that.
What?
I
Whoa.
kid you not. I kid you not. You can find these all over YouTube. And that's something that once
Sheesh.
solo masters a weapon, a certain weapon, or even just the game in general, and gets a certain set that he has, or even if he finds a set that's made specifically for speedrunning, I think that would be right up his alley. And there are actually, believe it or not, there's actually competitions for that. I didn't think that there would ever be PvP for Monster Hunter, but someone showed me a video, and it was literally two people dropped in an arena, in separate arenas fighting the same monster, and it was timed.
Oh man.
And it was and I was like, that's PvP Monster Hunter that I would do. I would 100% do that, because that's a test of like all of your techniques, all of your skills, and the mastery of the weapon that you've chosen. So and yeah, solo would be perfect for that. Now I'm not a speedrun hunter, so like I can't really, that's something I can't give instructions on because it's not what I do. There's definitely instruction out there because the Monster Hunter community is very, very helpful, as trolly as some of them may be. They're very, 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 very helpful. Yeah, solo, I say that would be up your alley, but definitely get on Rise for sure. Because with Rise, the thing that I like about it is that like it doesn't feel as clunky as previous Monster Hunter games. It did get a great speed up with World, but Rise is just like crazy. Rise is absolutely nuts.
Most definitely. And it looks like we're running out of time, by the way, everybody. But we do have one last question we can answer from Maz, who says, you get to live in one video game for the rest of your life. Is that Monster Hunter or something else, Hobbes?
It could be Monster Hunter, depending on, how thrill-seeking I am. But we all know how chill and relaxed I can be when I'm not monster hunting, so that would probably end up being something like Animal Crossing, to where I can just sit on a beach all day and just not give a care about anything in the world.
Digging up the seashells, clearing the trees, starting a garden, that kind of thing.
Yeah. Okay. I definitely gotta bring that back. I definitely need to bring that back. I need to my and what's great is that in this Animal Crossing, my villagers were like, "Oh my god, where have you been?" And it's just like, "Well, I've been," and then like you sit there and you go and it's like you a scene from a show. Well, it's like, well, and then you see all the clips of me playing Monster Hunter, and it's just that.
That's fantastic.
Nothing. And then after it shows all this, like, nothing too big, nothing too crazy.
Oh man. So. Well, Hobbes, it's been like a lot of fun, and we could go on for hours just talking about all of this. And I do know that you are on another original Nemesis show called, if you don't mind sharing with us,
Jester's Court.
Okay, and what character do you play
Jester's
on there?
Court. We're doing for our D&D campaign. We are doing Star Wars. We're actually in the Old Republic era, and I love doing this. Jaden Naran, smuggler turned Jedi, sort of, at your service.
Fantastic. Now, what time is that happening this Sunday?
6 p.m. I believe that's 6 p.m.
6 p.m. Central Time?
Central Time, yeah.
All right, cool. Now, you want to plug anything else before we go? Talk about anything else?
Let's see. Advance is good stuff. We have a code that's basically named after us, and it gets you 10% off. Use it to get yourself a great shaker like this and some great flavors like this.
Yeah.
Let's see. Actually, another thing that I've been using is Gamer Goo, the anti hand sweat stuff. That's good stuff.
Okay.
Gamer Goo is pretty good. And of course, Monster Hunter.
Fantastic. So, where can people check you out? What's your socials?
Well, my socials are usually the same. ItzHobbes 2040 on Twitter and Instagram. You can check me out also on Hover and TikTok. ItzHobbes, and same with my channel, my Twitch channel.
Fantastic. What about you, Floppy? Where can people find you?
Oh shucks. So we got Twitch, we got a little bit of Facebook, we got Instagram, and you can usually find it all just at Floppy Longboard. So we'll see you guys there.
Oh yeah, cool. You keep it just smooth across the board. See what I did there?
Oh, that was a good one. That was I like it. I like that. I like that. It was a little. I like it.
Exactly. So thank you guys so much for watching this wonderful episode of Nemesis Insider. We're going to have more great guests coming up in the following weeks. But be sure to check out Jester's Court this Sunday on this very same channel. Monday, we have the Beyond Nemesis podcast where they talk about gaming-related topics and news. So there's lots of fun things to find on this channel. But until next time, guys, much love. Thank you for checking us out. Be sure to follow the channel. Follow us at NemesisGG on Twitter. And we'll talk to you real soon. Much love.
Love you guys.
Peace out.